Five. Good morning. Rise and grind.
There's back.
It's that time again for Wake and Bake with the Kroskis. I'm here. You're here. We're here together. I hope you've got something to wake you up and something to bake you up. We have a four-way, like a boss. Okay. Well, let's hold up our coffee cups here.
Painted Lady's mug that she lets me use.
I'm using my work thermos.
Good morning, Terry.
I don't drink coffee.
Good morning, Porch Farmer.
I'm Davin.
Good morning, chat.
Good morning, everybody.
Coffee?
I don't. It doesn't. Excuse me. I love it, but it doesn't like me. It hurts my stomach, so I'm not able to enjoy it.
Plus, you're kind of wiry as
but
it is.
It doesn't like me. I'm freezing up. Now, it's been good reception the whole time I've been talking to you guys, and now we're going live, and it's going to fuck up.
I asked you one question before pre-show, and it was like spinning
the
wheel.
Camera quality was like excellent, and then
it was perfect. Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
It's okay.
I don't understand. I did nothing. I mean, I've not moved. I've sat in the same fucking spot.
You know how it goes.
So, Porch Farmer, I wanted to mention sunglasses inside is a pet peeve of Painted Ladies, and she's watching in the other room. I haven't heard her cursing yet, but I just wanted you to know.
Well, I did a lot of welding yesterday, and I got really bad flash burns, so
dude,
glasses are here to stay.
Dude, I hate that.
That's like shit's bright.
I can remember being in the Army, and this is, well, I guess it's not dating myself. They still use Humvees. I was in a maintenance platoon, and I ended up getting pulled into doing welding on there was like this little bracket that was supposed to go around like the emergency brake and shit. Yeah. So what they did all day is we just laid on fucking creepers, and they would drive them up over top of us and do it. And I can remember my roommate at the time waking up at like 1:30 in the morning screeching, just fucking screeching, and he was like, oh my god. So one of the old welders was like, well, if you cut a potato in half and put it on your eyes, it'll help. This motherfucker's going around at 1:30 in the morning looking for a potato in the barracks, man.
Yeah. Yep, there's factual shit to that right there. The starches in it. Something about that.
When I was a kid, everybody...
Go ahead, Sequence.
I was saying it's a little off topic, but when I was a kid, if you got burned, everyone would crack an egg on it. Remember that?
Try to fry it.
Now you Google it.
Sunny side up.
Like, that's not a good idea to crack eggs, then you get a burn.
Not oils and burns just don't sound great.
Debbie says everything dates me, man. You know what? I'm a popular guy. You know, I can't help it that my dance card is full.
Anything that was popular at a time, Scobo had to be involved in it. So if there was a fad, he knows what time it was.
No, that is not correct, sir, at all in any stretch of the imagination. I never had fucking what were those crazy fucking flare jeans that they used to have in the 90s? They were like
the Jinkos.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jinkos. I was thinking bell bottoms, but
yeah, that's
there probably are pictures from 1974 that they may, in fact, but you're not picking your own clothes at that point. You're kind of at the mercy
whatever's available.
Exactly. You picked that shirt. I'm sure you would have picked bell bottoms.
You know what?
They did kind of go.
This shirt is dope. This shirt is dope. You know why I wore this?
It is
because it's very vibrant. It's very reminiscent of the weather and the sun, and I'm hoping to get people started off on the right foot, man. So Johnny B says, "Is this a cannabis show?"
It's a cannabis show.
That remains to be seen.
This is the Wake and Bake.
We're waking and baking. So this is a little bit of an all-encompassing show. We do this show like, let's see, the last time we did it was 2 months ago. So you guys are
holy shit.
Painted Lady said here, thank COVID for the show. Both her and I have COVID, or we'd be camping right now.
Charlotte Boy's nice.
So we're not camping, so she's watching, and I'm speaking to you guys with my lovely sultry tones. And we're having a show this morning. We are going to talk about cannabis a little bit. We wore that out in the pre-show. And we'll get back around to it. I'm on the upswing. I'm feeling a little bit better. Painted Ladies up and down every day, so better and worse and better and worse. So we're getting there.
Looking better than you feel.
Yeah, been blowing my nose a lot mostly today, so nothing super bad. Just I haven't gotten to bake yet this morning, so I got to do that. Let's see the topic.
When I had
Yeah, go ahead.
When I had that, I just stayed so loaded on edibles. Oh, it was like the worst thing in the world.
Sleep all the time.
It seemed to help the most was actually right here. Yeti made these capsules. These are MCT oil and
The
rosin.
nightcaps.
Yeah, there you go.
I think those
So
are
these
15
are,
milligrams each.
They're 20 milligrams
20s.
each.
Okay.
20
I
milligrams.
found it hard to smoke.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to, especially do a dab because it can be hard on the lungs. When I first got the COVID, I did a dab and I was like, that's not good. But now I can do it. But just smoking a bowl or something's not super bad. But doing that's much easier than smoking. And I also got my RSO out. It's right here, actually.
Yep.
Well, that looks
That's
like
a
an old
lifesaver.
school Spartan one right there.
There's another solution for that. And put some RSO in some capsules, and then you don't have to smoke very much.
Yeah.
Sleep a lot.
As we were.
I was getting ready to bring up some cannabis so that we didn't drive our viewers
So
crazy.
we can be an official cannabis show at that point.
I have the shirt on. We're a cannabis show.
All right.
I have a seed germinating in a bag next to me. I'm gonna grow weed.
Hold
What
on,
do
let
you
me
got?
see your bag.
My bag.
That's a good looking sack.
Bag
you
tech.
got there.
Okay, what's in there?
It's Snow Cane V2, the 2020 cut times the Spartan cut.
Yeah,
Tara.
man. Tara's back.
She's in
Tara's
and out.
gone.
She's the prairie dog of the show.
Prairie dog. So it's smart to put your seed bag on top of your computer where it stays a little warm. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm not doing any gaming or
on,
anything.
I like to put them on the refrigerator. So just because your computer's not necessarily on all the time, but the top of your fridge stays warm.
Yep.
Which is also why it's not a good place to keep your bread and stuff. It makes your bread go bad really fast. But put your seeds up there and they'll germinate a little bit quicker.
But you know, if you have cats in the home, you may also have a cat try to hatch your seeds as well if you keep them up on top of the refrigerator when it's warm. Tara says,
She's
I'm
trying.
not sure. I don't know that it's the internet. I think it's an operator error.
no.
Usually. 9 times out of 10.
She keeps hitting leave studio instead of unmute.
That's the overzealous move.
I used to put my seeds when I pop them on top of T5 lights, but now most people aren't using T5s anymore, so it's hard advice to give.
Yeah.
If you're still using T5s, they're not usually too hot. Mine used to get really hot, so I would put a glass plate on top of my T5 light and then put my seeds on top of that, and that would give it enough buffer so that they wouldn't get overheated.
Yeah, man. The old school way is I don't know if anybody's ever had like an 8-bar T5. If you put that in like a really small space, you know, back in the day, the fucking room would be like 92 degrees with the door closed if you didn't have a fan running in there trying to exhaust that.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
With
The
all
heat
that
just
being
keeps
said,
going
you know,
up and up and up and up.
yeah, with all that being said, it's still not too late to pop your seeds for outdoor.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the pre-show. So,
Mhm.
Skilbo, you want to discuss your situation?
Sure. I am running strictly outdoor this year, so I am getting all my seeds popped, everything popped. But the only problem is that due to the living situation that I'm in right now, the only place that I can put these plants is on a really cold floor. So I'm kind of having an issue with them coming up. I was making a joke before the show started, and this will probably go over like the Zeppelin, but I fucking hate popping seeds, man. I fucking hate it. I would much rather, as a long time fucking medical patient, would much rather deal with clones. Because then it's just a matter of, you know, hey, can you keep this thing alive? Whereas, you know, when you're fucking with seeds, there's a whole bunch of steps in the way that you can do it wrong. Now I can hear Spartan in my ear because he's always on this. He'd be like, no, bro, all you got to do is put it in the fucking ground and then water it and it'll be fine.
You'd say, keep it simple, stupid.
Exactly.
And plant it in the dirt and then it will grow. There's a lot of ways to do it. And there's a lot of ways to mess it up, like you said. Sometimes, especially for newer growers, when you add more and more steps, you're like, put it on a paper towel and soak it at 67% humidity, and 70 degrees, and you know, all of these steps, and you're like, oh shit, I did 2 things wrong and now my seeds didn't pop or whatever. Sometimes it's just easier to just put them in.
But all my seeds
Soil
popped
or-
when I put them in the ground. So it's in the cups, right? Because
Yeah.
my plan was, hey, I really am behind the 8 ball. I should have done this shit a month ago. I should have thought about all these different things. So I'll take it. I'll take the responsibility for it. But I bet you that there's somebody else out there that listens to this that goes, that's kind of me too. So, depending on your situation, I live surrounded on 4 sides by big ass fucking trees. And I mean, like, not just 1 or 2. I mean, like, I have an entire probably 3 acres of woods behind me and all along the sides. So I have to really be careful where I'm going to put these outdoor plants, because what'll happen is everything will be going great. And then I'll have a whole bunch of problems with caterpillars and all kinds of other bullshit, right? Oh, hell yeah, Marcus. Now that's what you like to see, is some 32-year-old fucking beans getting popped.
Yeah.
Hey, Marcus, what'd you pop? What are they called? They got a name, or is it just like, hey?
Skillbo, if the
It's
viewers
skunk.
can do it and you can do it, you're on a camera. That means you're an expert.
Exactly. I haven't said this in a long time, but I do like to ask the really, really beginner questions, these things where people go wrong and shit like that. I don't have any problem being the one to ask the questions, because I really don't care. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I don't need street credibility from doing a show or from growing a plant.
Yeah, you weren't born perfect. None of us were.
Northern Lights exclusively grown in New England. Got it from Kyle Breeder. Shout out to Kyle Breeder. I just see he had some new fem beans dropped too. I think that was yesterday that he had that posting.
That was the last thing that I designed when I had my last job, was
His packaging.
his seed drop pictures. I did do his packaging, but that was before. And he hit me up. He goes, "Can you do me another edit?" And I said, "Nope, I retired." So he's on to somebody that knows what they're doing, and he'll have better artwork moving forward.
So I see that Patrick, shout out Patrick Little Deuce, says, I started my seeds indoors a month ago and it's a pain to harden them for outdoors. Next time, straight into the ground. Yeah, man, here's the thing. This isn't a 1 season, 1 shot, 1 deal thing. This is something that is my right as a adult in Michigan, that I can grow 12 plants. It's not going to be taken away from me. I also
You're
have my 12
entitled,
plants.
is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, man.
Or entitled to 12.
So this
Canvas
isn't just a 1 season thing. So if I fuck this up, which I'm going to assume safely that I do, I'm going to assume that it doesn't go well. I'm going to assume that something goes wrong. If not, everything goes wrong.
At least half.
There you go, whatever it is. But I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to be like, well, fuck it, I tried outdoors and I couldn't do it. No, that just all these things that I'm doing wrong right now are all the things that I'm going to try to correct next year. And then if I get it wrong the second year, I'm going to try to fucking work on those problems too, as well as the ones from the first year in year 3. It's just a matter of perspective, man. You just got to stay positive and realize, you're not the all-powerful keeper of all things on this, and it's nature. So you just got to try to work with it rather than fight against it.
For sure. You'll figure it out, of course. And like you said, you can try every year. And the most important thing is you have a lot of time this year to figure it out yet. Most classic growers of cannabis here in Michigan don't even have plants outside yet, or plants on the ground. They usually pan down. They usually start in June. And so I think you got plenty of time to pop some seeds and get them going. And even if you were to pop them outside right now, as far as hardening off plants to move them outside, now is a good time to do it. If you're awake in the morning, put your plants out in the morning. The
like
sun
7
is a
to
lot
10.
lower in the sky.
Yep.
It gives them a lot more time. Or these
Come home
cooler
from work,
days.
set it in the shade.
Yeah. Just because we had a bunch of days where it hit 80 degrees doesn't mean that the plants have to be ready for 80 degrees. It's still springtime, and you don't got to put them out on those super hot days. So they'll get used to it pretty quick.
I think that's kind of an important point, is that you do still have time. So one thing that I always do is, again, I assume that I'm going to do something wrong. So that's why I've never shot my whole load on like, oh, I've got a whole pack of beans, I'm just going to pop every single one of them. I'm always afraid from like the patient standpoint that, let's say that there's like 2 or 3 phenos in a 10 pack and I pop 5 of them. Okay, maybe I'm going to see 2 of them. Maybe I'm going to see, something. But
You're
I've still
probably
got
gonna
that
see
reserve.
10.
Right. Well, yeah, it just depends on what it is too. But there's the potential for, let's say that there is a certain cannabinoid that can be unlocked in one of those beans. If that's my money, that's my thing that I need to be well for myself. I'm always afraid to shoot it all in one load. Now you can also argue the same time. You say, okay, but that's all fine and well. But bro, you just got a luck of the draw. You picked 5 out of 10. And so you may never get back to the one that would have been medicine for you. You got to pop them
Right.
all.
I always
So
I try to pop them all.
The thing that's cool as fuck about being your own grower of your own medicine is you get to make all the command decisions.
Yeah.
Now you got to take all the onus with it too. You can't blame the trimmers. You can't blame, hey, somebody was supposed to. Nah, bro, that was you. You fucked that up.
I've personally never been much on the side of understanding taking like a 10 pack of seeds and popping 8 of them and then picking a keeper. Because what if the one of the other 2 plants was the keeper?
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
It's another thing that I often bring up is like when you're picking keepers for your garden or whatever, when you're popping seeds, how do you do it? And it's a philosophical question, of course, but it's when you pop a pack of seeds, are you just picking this is the best sour diesel plant out of this pack of seeds? Or are you picking a keeper plant that's actually truly really, really good?
Well,
Most of the time, people will pop a pack of seeds and keep a plant no matter what. Could be the
they
best.
just want one of that strain that they bought,
just one of the strain I bought, but it's pretty average.
Mhm.
To me, that's not a keeper plant, and you want to limit the ability to get those average plants, right? So, to me, every seed is just like a lottery ticket towards getting a keeper and towards having that plant you keep forever. When we talk about seed stability and wanting to have like limited phenos in a pack and all of that sort of thing, that's for people that are growing like a field of plants that want to have seeds
200 run.
They say on their pack, right? Like, oh, these are the Blue Dream that I remember was the seed pack. I popped 20 of them and I got 20 of them or whatever. That sort of stability is not necessarily great for a home grower because the home growers are looking for really good seeds. When you pop a package of seeds, you're generally not growing more than like a tent or a room full of them. So you get time to pick a clone and then grow the one that works the best for your environment. There's kind of 2 different modes of looking at genetics when you're looking at seeds. And the way a lot of people talk about like, man, I wish breeders wouldn't release F1s. I wish all the seeds were stable and all that stuff. It's really against what we're trying to do as growers.
Exactly. We're not trying to create a bottleneck.
Right.
Yeah, you're not trying to create a field of genetically similar plants, really. You're trying to find the superstar that you can put in your basement or in your, I don't know anybody that's growing fields of plants. So I like to bring that up.
I'd like to be.
Right. Sure, absolutely. Welcome back, Tara.
I think I have a connection finally. Son of a bitch. Thanks, guys, for being patient. Cheers, everybody.
So Troy to turn the hotspot on his phone.
He had them late night videos rocking and
yeah, I wish. I'm like literally ran all over the house trying
bathroom.
to find where I could get more bars at. I'm out on the porch.
Nice.
So,
Did you
I'm
just
going to
move
add
to
something here for seeds on what you guys were talking about, the seeds and that. So, obviously I'm a huge lover of GMO and, I'm obviously that's what I'm looking for in all of my seeds that I have going on, like kind of my mode is always back there looking for this chem GMO, kind of that speed right there for me. So boy, I love popping new seeds. It's really super fun because I like seeing all the new growth and the change in the baby. Yeah, I think actually popping the seeds are a pain in the butt, but I don't soak my seeds. I just stick mine right into the soil. But I do use soil, or did use soil, and so I don't know how that would work with cocoa.
Okay, I want to follow up with something. So
I do too.
Since we're doing the philosophical thing, you said I like GMO, and everything that I pop, I'm looking for GMO. You are making my argument for me. I got to the point where once I got a lot of the genetics from friends and people within the panel and groups and stuff like that, I was at the point where I'm like, why am I going to even pop a pack of beans when I can just already cut right to the chase? And I know that I like this, even if I didn't do the find for it. Like, let's talk about Primal Punch. Okay. So the F1, the best one of those that I had was from Eagle. That was fucking slapping, right? Then I had Dan's. Dankman Dan's is fucking amazing, and getting it in the concentrate form of it really allows you to appreciate the finer points of it. Shout out to MedGrower1, MG1 Seeds on that.
Mm-hmm.
But if I already have one that I like I'll use Sequence's Citro Glue when we first started the show. So originally there were a bunch of Citro Glues. He gave me one of the ones that he wasn't going to flower, which I believe was like the number 3. And then he had 2 that he had and kept the one of it. So out of that pack, I tried 3 different kinds, and the one that he kept as a keeper is the one that to me keeps the most GG4 characteristics and that punchy smoke with it. Tara, you know from smoking it, that's why you enjoy the shit out of it too.
I do. I love that. I love the Citro Glue. I do. And and I love GG4. So I do have other loves besides GMO, but that's my heavy hitter I'm looking for. So, my GG4 is like my during the day along the line kind of thing, and then my GMOs are my nighttime. And I can't really say I've got a daytime smoke that I really enjoy. I'm really loving runts, any kind of runts, or our Jealousy at work I love. We've got our Zittles cake was good at work that we just had out recently. Our garlic icing, which we renamed to Gym Bag. That has been the newest one that we had come out. Matter of fact, hold on. I don't know if I've got that with me. God, it is so pretty.
I had some of that garlic
funky.
icing, not from you guys, but I got it from down in the city, and it was really good.
I didn't want to get too far off the topic because Tara brought up GMO, and I just wanted to mention that GMO is a pheno of a seed that one guy popped one seed one time and got a plant that people have been growing for over 10 years. That kind of speaks to the point that I'm trying to bring up is like, you can search for GMO forever and you'll never find that plant again unless you go find that cut from that guy or someone that has it.
Can I bring up another point then as to dovetail with that? Then why the fuck does everybody talk so highly about like sour diesel? Now let's get realistic about sour diesel.
Same reason.
Well, how many people have bought a pack of sour diesel, popped it, and said, I have the real sour diesel? If you have a lot of friends that grow and you've had it multiple times, there is a vast difference. And I don't believe that it is a matter of like, oh, this one's got a better cure than the other dudes I tried. So yeah, it's the same thing.
Sour diesel should be a clone.
Should be, but isn't.
Right. So what happens when you buy a pack of sour diesel seeds? You think you have sour diesel, especially if you're ignorant to the story. Like, how many people have you heard me tell the story of GMO to? Right. The only reason that you're sure it is what it is because you've heard it 20 times from me or somebody else. So if you're just a cannabis,
it's got a backstory,
and you want whatever, if you want Mac, you go Google Mac seeds and you'll grow them and you'll say you have Mac. It's not your fault, for not knowing the entire legacy story of a strain or whatever.
You have Mac, you just don't have the Mac 1, the caps cut.
Well, yeah, exactly. So, it's more complicated than just being like sour diesel's different or whatever that, sour diesel is a cut. And if you have sour diesel that people are talking about, you have that. So you do have a consistent thing. So it's kind of 2 different problems all at once.
And it's a legacy strain.
Yeah, it'll always be around, in my opinion.
Another thing I like about starting off with seeds is that you're not. I don't want to step on toes by saying it, but if you get a clone or a cut, you're kind of like bringing on somebody else. I don't want to say problems, but their genetics.
You could be for sure.
Whatever that they've.
If you have a shitty IPM, sure.
but I'm just,
Or
whatever,
thyroid.
their, vibes been into it. That's, the kind of their thing. So I feel like if I start with a seed, that's my own and it's, my fresh, take on it and kind of thing. I don't know.
And it's 100%
Whereas,
healthy, you know?
Not 100% necessarily, but yeah, it's going to be as healthy as possible.
Right. Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
taking out somebody else's dirty scissors. So
Mhm.
just lessening yield or something. You think you've got this plant, but it could be so much better.
There's a lot of problems that you can get in your garden from clones. You could get, hop latent virus and all sorts of other stuff you can bring into your garden. You can bring in pests. You can bring in clones.
Quarantine your clones, everyone. Quarantine your clones.
You can get clones that aren't growing well. And then you're like, why did I even bring this in? This is a slow piece of shit. They took it at the wrong stage and now I got to re-veg this thing or whatever. I don't know how many times I've asked somebody for a clone of a plant they have and then they've given me one that's like week 5 flower.
Got weed on it. It's like, what am I doing, man?
Hey, like, look at how, was it GMO that had to be really, really grown out? Wasn't that a super, super small little cut?
Yeah, it was. So I traded a beautiful clone for GMO when we originally got GMO in our circle. So I gave a nice, like a teen almost, and got back this really shitty little clone. It took forever, but it was worth it. GMO was incredible.
Yeah.
GMO is worth it. But it's picky. You got to be in for the long haul for that one.
It's picky, but it's like it's more user friendly than like Mac. It's a lot easier to grow as far as the node spacing and the leaf density and all that stuff.
And that's actually worth taking the 77 days. Like
Absolutely.
this Hong Kong Fooey I just ran went 77 days. So then I dry it and I smoke it. I'm like, okay, this smells really good. It's got like this really nice funky melon to it. Smoke it, nothing special.
No.
So that's why I'm running the Snow Cane V2. She's gone.
Yeah. Wow.
Snow Cane's a pretty quick plant because it's got a lot of it's indica leaning in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it flowers really fast.
That's what I'm hoping for. Go the complete opposite. Take the 77 out and bring in a fast one.
Yeah, it'll be low 60s.
Yeah, that's what I like.
And frosty too, and the effects aren't really indica leaning because you know how to harvest. You know how to time your harvest. It won't put you in the dirt just because
knock you down.
That way. Yeah.
Yeah. As far as GMO goes for me, I think it's always just a matter of knowing, and sometimes it takes a run on this, is knowing like what your ceiling height is and where you have to anticipate that this plant is going to stop when it stretches. I've always had to pull mine down, back into the light by tying off to the scrog itself after it grows through again. And, but it always rewards you with quality fucking smoke for the most part of the plant. If you've done your de-leafing and shit like that, all the fucking nugs are nice, man. And it yields like a motherfucker. And it's one that all of us have fucking grown and we've pretty much smoked from each other. And it's consistently the same. So it didn't really matter whether, you did a good job on it or, you know what I'm saying? Like you can fuck it up, but its characteristics always carry through.
She was just a loving plant.
Mm-hmm. Very loving. She loves
I wanted
me.
to mention quickly before we get too far off of the topic of the seed clone thing. This was something that came across my knowledge bank a few days ago. And now we have to worry about hop latent thyroid through seeds. So that's kind of
what about an H2O2 bath? Will that rid those seeds of that?
I'm not sure. This is a developing story, so we'll have to
follow along.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I'd like to read that.
To try to listen, if we learn that like people are starting to get hop latent thyroid maybe from certain breeders, avoid those breeders.
Definitely.
Now, the other topic we were talking about was, along with the seeds is the outdoor. So I have been trying to look all week into different options that I can do as far as to create a covering for the plants. Not just for like the fact that I have trees all around me, but for the fact that, the weather can get funny here and shit. So I may be able to buy myself a week or more extra finishing time at the end of the year because I'll be in a greenhouse rather than in the elements. But there's so many different fucking options. You can go with, PVC pipes and couplings, and then just throw some fucking 2x4s along the edge there to give it some structural stability. Throw some plastic over top of it. I did see a really cool trick sequence I wanted to share with you. Was it was one guy and one other person that was trying to do this like 32-foot long greenhouse. So what they did is they took a golf ball and they put a golf ball inside of the plastic and they twisted it around, and then they like rubber banded it so that they could just throw that over top of the hoop house itself, and then it would go over top instead of trying to wrestle on ladders and all kinds of other shit. And they also had like a rope that you could tie to it and pull it across.
I think the wind would take that and the golf ball and hit you.
You
try to throw that over there.
Man, that was a bitch, dude. I was having like
Flashbacks.
There's just too much wind, I think.
Oh,
What was your solution besides being way up high? in the sky?
bundled up the end of it into a ball, like you said, taped it up or whatever to a rope, and then threw the rope across the greenhouse, and then just pulled the plastic over.
Yeah.
And then we had 4 people to wrestle with it, and it was like very low wind, but it was like off and on 5 or 6 mile an hour wind, and we probably about got killed doing that. It was insane.
Set sail.
Yeah. Oh man.
Kingfisher reminds me, what about the Ed Rosenthal tall sawhorse greenhouse? Yeah, just think of like a swing set, like the little swing set in the backyard you got. You just take the chains off everything, the swings and the slide, and then you're just making an A-frame.
Yep. If you plan to use a swing set to grow with, don't worry about putting your plants outside until like the middle of June, or they will get too big. Yeah.
They're way too big. And don't worry about those bees that have lived in the corner. Those are part of your IPM, so you'll be good.
You're just going to get stung when you put your plastic up.
I said it's an IPM. It's also for you too. Keeps everything away
any
from the plants.
pest.
Something to keep in mind if you start doing a greenhouse outside is if you do stuff like supplemental lighting, like put lights up in the morning to like
You've already got the clips there.
do anything, while it attracts thievery, because anyone that knows anything about cannabis or any plants at all, you don't see people using lights on any outdoor plants. So when people start seeing lights go up in greenhouses and stuff, it's a very big telltale sign that you've got some valuable plants in there.
That's the old school. Why is there a orange park or yellow parking lots?
Right.
Lights inside of there.
I love driving down the road at night, and you see this purple window.
Purple window, exactly. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a grower that both doesn't watch the show because
isn't using newer tech, but hey, they're giving it hell.
Their uncle's old shit.
Shout out Blurples.
Be mindful of that stuff, guys. When I started to grow and started driving around, like I can pick out every house that has a grow in the backyard because
you see out of place vents and stuff on the side of
buildings.
You see air conditioning units. Air conditioning units in wintertime. Like the window ones and shit.
On full blast.
Yeah. Yep. There's a lot of telltale signs. And once you start growing, but the first grow you set up, you're like, this is going to be perfect. And then now you're like, what the fuck?
Fucking probably 12 years ago, I used to ride my bike all over the place. And I used to like ride at night and shit just to be peaceful and stuff and be riding through the neighborhoods. Man, you would get to whole fucking areas where you could just totally fucking smell nothing but cannabis. And that was when like, hey, people will rob you for that shit. I realize that everybody has the right to grow 12 plants. It doesn't mean they don't want yours as well. So don't just think like, hey, why somebody steal my shit, fam?
Our shit got robbed, and we had a very professional setup, and yeah, I mean, it just happens.
You just overgrew the greenhouse. They couldn't carry it all away.
Yeah, they couldn't.
Luckily they couldn't make it out of one little quadrant.
Yeah, it's so many plants in there. They're like, this is plenty. We'll
Yeah,
just
this will last.
They're probably still smoking that shit.
That's good too, because we'd still be trimming that if they didn't take some.
Touche.
That still
sir,
makes me
touche.
so sick to my stomach. God.
Man, the way it all
that
turned
hard
out still
work.
makes me wonder if it wasn't an inside job.
Yeah, that was a guess from the beginning.
Yeah.
From both of us. We're like, I think he goes, I think one of my family members did that. So
That's
who
terrible.
knows? Yep. It usually is. I mean, that's why we say, especially if you're in a red state, don't even tell your friends you grow, because you're probably
Yeah.
friends with other people that smoke and other people that smoke that need the money or whatever. There's a lot of different motivations for them, and you gave them an idea of where something really valuable was. So it's really smart to not tell people where you grow, especially if it's illegal where you grow.
Exactly. Red state, especially.
Yeah.
You know, your ex-girlfriend's got something to hold over your head now because you got this big illegal thing in your garage or whatever.
Yep.
A lot of reasons to not.
Well, it's never like you think, well, I trust my friend. Sure, but your friend is like super impressed by the setup that you have and can't help but tell somebody. So let's say they tell their significant other, and then their significant other says, oh man, you'll never believe what happened. And then they tell somebody who then tells their, very easily your shit can be heard and like plotted on way before.
Oh yeah. Well, think about how many times you've heard when somebody goes, dude, I saw this big 72 light grow.
Yeah.
It's over in X county on this road, you know, and you're like, whoa.
Just realize if you noticed it, realize that other people have too. So just be safe,
Right.
you know?
Yep. Thank goodness we don't have to worry about stuff like that. Like nobody's growing at a scale like that or anything, but it's a thing to be concerned about for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I like to think that I have like the new school mentality of like community and we can all sit at the table and all these other great things that I really believe in. But I'm also jaded enough and kind of like PTSD'd enough about the way that things were prior to that, that you have to make your fucking shit secure. You have to have some good common horse sense about you.
Yeah, and then like if you're growing plants in the middle of town, so it's just kind of like you just accept it at some point. You're like, well, they might make it, they might not, you know. And then just one day somebody will come and grab one of them out of your backyard or whatever. And
One of my favorite things I seen last summer was a guy had his 5 or 10 gallon plastic pot tied to his chimney on his roof. Just one on the back side of his house. You could see it if you went to the gas station and looked up.
Did somebody
He
shimmy up
wasn't
there and
getting
take that
robbed.
shit?
I don't think so.
Well,
I think
that'll
that
learn
thing
you,
made
yeah.
it. I bet that pot got hot.
Yeah, how you gonna water that motherfucker?
He probably had a window up there or something.
So he's the one
Just
shimmying
enough
out
to
there.
reach out.
Oh man,
I thought
there's
that
a
was
will,
clever.
there's a way, right?
Yep.
A lot of flat top roof growers back in the day too.
Yep. Yeah, so if you got a nice roof,
Make's got a neighbor that grows on their roof. Apparently the cops don't care about that.
No.
Huh.
Second story balcony would be nice for that, but then you have to realize that they make ladders for
Yeah,
such
you
an
can just
occasion, so therefore
plain
you're still
sight.
not safe.
Well, we're planning, I forgot to mention, Painted Lady just let me know, we're planning on moving all of her veg plants outdoors because they're too big to put into the flower room. They're like
or
ceiling high already, so
Hell yeah, man. So
I
you're
think
gonna really
that-
scrog those out?
no,
That's
they're
all.
going to grow them natural, use them like hedges and stuff.
so when are you taking them out?
Probably this weekend, I would think.
When you
There's
feel
gonna be
better.
some nice sized ladies.
It's supposed to be in the 90s up above the wall, so it should be nice down your guys' way this
When?
week, huh?
Yeah, like Monday,
This week?
Tuesday.
Yeah, like Monday and
Oh,
Tuesday.
shit.
We're supposed to be like 91 up there.
Dude, it was like 48 yesterday.
It was
Yeah,
43
it's pretty
this
cold.
morning.
Yeah, it's Michigan.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's up and
40 to
down.
90. You know?
Sure.
We're going to have some huge plants here, that's for sure.
Yeah. I've got a Hong Kong. The one I threw out, it's outside. It's been out there for like a couple weeks now. Just surviving, doing its thing.
We're not going to do any special shit to them. We're just gonna put them outside and water them, and they'll be just fine.
It'll be
No
perfect.
yellow bottles.
We I think they've been getting yellow bottles. These plants, yeah. Actually, they have. I know that for sure.
Thickums.
Yeah. And they'll do just fine. Part of the reason is because there's no spot in the yard that gets like full sun, so they're always going to be a little bit shaded, which helps. They won't get beat up.
Yeah, that'll help big time.
Causes other problems, of course, but it helps for that.
Get out there, get some fans going in the yard.
Yep. Neighbors are like, "What the fuck's going on over there?"
Mhm. First it was fans, then it's purple lights. I mean, Jesus, just putting a spotlight. You're growing hedges of the shit. You know what I mean? Oh, we got some sativas out here too.
These are artisanal hedges, okay?
Yeah, man.
You won't be able to tell they're weed until you get real close.
I don't know. I'm kind of toucan Sam about that shit. Come later on.
Once the leaves start to yellow out, you can really tell. Like that big yellow,
Yeah.
just
Oh yeah.
make sure to keep those out of there.
It'll smell. They smell dank already. I was walking around outside in the outdoor plants. I walked past them because they're beside the path, and I was like, "Ooh,
Nice.
I love a good veg
Smell good.
smell.
Mhm. Are you guys going to be just going straight into the ground then? Are you amending anything? What's the plan?
these ones." I don't know what the plan is yet, but
Okay.
we've got some of both. So we've got some that are in 25 gals, 4 of them, I think, and then one is in the ground. And all of these new ones, I assume, are going to go in the ground. Let's see. We'll see what she wants to do. It's her garden, so she gets to
Exactly.
make all the calls, and she does all the plant work. So
Doesn't he want you to be the gardener?
respect.
He gets the de-leaf in his thong.
I de-leaf and whatever else she tells me to do. She says ground. Perfect. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured too. We don't have any more big pots, so we'd have to go buy a bunch.
Right.
So might as well
That's
just
never
put them in
fun.
the ground, right?
Absolutely.
I want to ask Tara what she's smoking, but I don't want her to make her cough either.
Oh, you're fine. I'm actually smoking on some. I just forgot. Hold on, I gotta find it here.
Must have worked.
It's called
Stunned her
Tuition.
ass. Somebody's tuition.
From Midnight Roots, and I have no idea what the cross is, but I love it. I don't know what it is, but I really enjoy it.
Morning,
I
Daddy
picked up
Red.
the Gems and Genetics a couple weekends ago.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a good time. I liked the way it was laid out. Everybody was orderly, and there was, people were respectful, and it wasn't a shit show, and it was really nice. I enjoyed it. It was a really nice event.
I really like when they're not a shit show.
Me too.
Ooh, we got a good question in chat. This is Sequence's easy one of the day.
Yeah.
Patrick Littledew says, when popping regular seeds, how do you folks deal with sexing them?
Well, the easiest way is to take, when you do your first top, like week 3 or veg or something, take a clone and put that clone in your flower room. As soon as your plant is sexually mature, the plant will go into flower, and then it'll tell you what sex it is. So then if you label your clone and your plant, you can pull your males out well before you would normally flower them. Or you can just put them, you can actually pay to get them tested too. About $10 a plant. It's probably the easiest way. If you only pop in like a pack of seeds, that's a pretty foolproof way to do it.
And what's
If
the name of
they're-
those tests?
Farmer Freeman, I think it's Farmer Freeman XY on Instagram, and then
Yeah, that's
Delta
who Dan
Leaf
says
Lab.
his too.
If you're doing like, a greenhouse of plants, it's probably cost prohibitive to do. But if you're popping a pack, I would do it.
So a question on that is, what are they actually doing with those tests? What are they reading? Does
They
anybody
read
know?
there's a genetic marker for the gender, so they can just run it through I don't know what the test is, where they see all the markers.
Mhm.
And if it's like, if this part of the genetics is, this, it's male or female. So
Right on.
it's a fairly easy one to tell. There's genetic markers for other stuff, and I listened to a podcast on it. So like, they can also tell if the plants are going to be taller or shorter, and all sorts of things in the genetics.
Clay Pipe says I've used Delta Leaf, 60% accurate. Wow, that doesn't sound very good at all. If that was the
That's
case,
not as accurate as I'd like.
I've never heard that before.
well, you wouldn't. If it's actually reading the genetic, then you wouldn't think that it would be wrong at all.
They could have, obviously they could make a mistake, I'm sure.
It's
But I
like this
haven't heard
THC tester that's out there. You can put your butt on it and test the THC, but it's like plus or minus 10%.
Right.
So,
Like, I can do that.
yeah,
It's either fire or boof. We'll let you know later.
Yeah,
Let's see how it
that's-
cures.
right.
You send me a picture of it, I'll tell you plus or minus 10%.
Exactly. I give you a quality right now. What's it smell like?
You can reverse a male preset native. You have to use a product. It's not the same product as like Colloquial Silver or STS. It's a different product, but you can reverse males. If you reverse a male into a female, you can't smoke it. It's toxic. The stuff that they spray on it makes it toxic to smoke, so don't do that. But it's a way to see when you grow a male. It's a way to see the female expression. So something you don't get to see, like for breeding purposes, you could reverse them and see what they look like. And you go, oh, I like what that looks like. I'll use it as male or whatever. That's one way that some breeders do it. Yep. But don't smoke it.
Either or, don't if you've used the silver either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We use the silver to make males, so normally people wouldn't smoke that. So you don't got to worry about telling people that very often, but for sure. There you go. Kingfisher says Rasta Jeff talked about it 2 shows ago. Jeff's got the best podcast and stuff. If you want to learn about growing in a easily digestible way and stuff, I really would recommend his shows. We just watched one yesterday, I think.
I always like it when he did the summary ones where it would be like, one big block all on this and you the long format of it. He's just easy to listen to.
Tess Nug says lots of breeders have been reversing males lately. I believe that.
So this talk of smaller pots, what you're saying is that you are frustrating them, making them root bound so that they will show sex? The stress of it?
Well, they'll show sex and veg if you get them root bound enough. That's another way to do it for sure. I've seen male plants pop balls in veg because of that before. And I'm like, fuck, you got to get out of here. You're really aggressive.
Yeah.
I feel like at that point they don't grow as well though when you flower them. You really got to like root prune them or something to get the roots to really shoot back out. Once you let them go that root bound, I don't know, they get pissed.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're going to do that strategy, I'd recommend doing it with like the clone that you took from your main plant rather than doing it with your main plant.
Kingfisher said he mentions that he would rather just breed with one male to a group of females and see what the progeny get from the breedings. Definitely.
It's probably easier. It's one less step or a few less steps than reversing a male. For sure.
I am properly fucking baked.
Yeah, me too.
Woked and boked.
Just did a dab of something. I don't know what it is. My wife brought it home.
So you guys got any weekend plans?
I'm gonna take the kids to the skate park.
Oh, nice.
Trying to teach the littlest one how to
Wear
be
a helmet,
extreme.
old man.
Oh, I got mine.
The question is, are you going to try to do a kickflip?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to see it, dude. Put your phone on that slow-mo.
I'll have my wife try to catch some video footage
Slow-mo.
or something.
Hell yeah, dude.
The first or second trick, that way I'm almost guaranteed to fall.
Well, when you land the first one, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I can do something better than that," and then you're gonna bust your ass.
I usually go and I try the hardest thing first.
Watch
Just
me
so I
do
can
this
set the
fucking
pace.
backside heel flip,
360 flip.
I could never heel flip, man. I don't know why.
Man's got weak heels.
Something about going. I got weak ankles, white boy ankles.
Get
We're
your
heading to
ankles broke out
Detroit
on the court.
today. We're going to MGM to meet my sister-in-law and brother-in-law for dinner and gambling.
Nice.
Hey, good
You said
luck.
You said MGM, and I thought you meant a movie theater.
Like the
You
MGM
go see
Grand.
Top Gun or what?
No movies. You
That's
can't
cool.
get
Have
high
fun.
there. I don't want to go to the movie theaters because I want to get high too much. So
You have to let me know if the casino's full of smoke.
I'll let you know. I'm not a big gambler, so I don't anticipate staying too long. I'm just mostly going for dinner and to see her, and so I'm not a big gambler at all. I'll pay the little penny 5-cent slots. I'm
The
cheap.
last time I went to the casino, it's like they don't allow smoking in there anymore, but all you could smell was weed.
Oh,
This is nice.
Funny.
It's all the
This is
vapes.
nice.
okay. I'm good with that then.
Yeah, it's like walk by this one,
Yeah, that's why I always
walk
hated
by that one.
Staggering Production says tomorrow is the best time to do things. And I think yesterday was the best time to do things, and tomorrow is when we would love to do things.
I'd say
But we kinda
philosophically,
Kind
today
of
is
got to do
the
it
day to
today.
do
We kind of
things.
got to carpe diem. We got to seize the day. Realize this, guys. Each new day is another chance to turn it all around.
I like to say, what if I don't wake up tomorrow? I better have done what I wanted to do today. I know that's a
Yep.
little depressing way to look at it, but like, all your days aren't guaranteed. Make the most of them. Try to wake up before noon and get some shit done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Levy, we are in Michigan, as the name states.
We have native reservations and all sorts of reasons for casinos here.
Everywhere.
Oh yeah.
They're even right across on
Fucking
the other
littered.
side of like the St. Clair River, right before you hit Lake Huron. There's a big casino over there that people used to drive across to prior to Detroit.
That's a big deal to some people. I mean, some people like to do that kind of stuff. I just never been my bag. Just
Yeah, I'm not much for gambling.
yeah.
Work hard for that money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They always
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah, I
You
work
take all
really
my
hard
fucking
for my money, so I definitely don't want to go stick it
Hey,
in some little
don't.
slot machine.
You gotta realize, man, if it's really luck and it's really gambling, you gotta wanna fucking lose it just as bad as you do win it. You can't
Well,
worry
the
about
odds aren't in your favor, so
I mean, the lottery proves that. I've used to see so many fucking people, dude, that would just come into the bar every day and they would play this crazy amount of lottery shit, man, whether
Pull tabs.
any of them, man. And so when they finally do win, you're like, well, fuck. And then they got to the point where they're like, well, you can get a $20 ticket, or you can like, damn, you just blow through your money that much quicker.
Yeah.
I don't like it because it's always, if you think about it, it's always trying to take more from the poor so that hopefully one of those people who are becoming poor could become potentially richer.
right. Yep. It's like one guy wins and 10,000 lose. And then that's what you play for, I guess.
Play for the aberration? Sure. Fucking around with the fickle finger of fate. Don't tempt the triple F. When it comes for you.
Well, like, who do you think is playing the lottery, right? It's not usually the...
If you won enough money, you wouldn't keep playing it. Well, I don't know. Some people have the addictive thing
Maybe.
and just want more.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess I'm talking about a whole other topic of conversation there.
Keno is a crazy one because that's like the worst odds game that you can play as far as casino games.
I had
Parlay,
never
baby.
played that before until I met Troy. And that got me for a couple times. I was like, I could play this for a while. That and that little pool tab thing.
Yep, sitting there eating bar food. You see the Keno
Never
numbers
played
and
that
pencils
before.
just calling your name.
They're designed for you to want to play. It's an
Yeah.
addictive.
Yeah, so I don't do it
thing.
anymore.
Can you highlight Dio's comment, please?
That's just part of the deal. Everybody's seen this sort of thing, or people that cash in food stamps so they can return cans so they can buy beer or whatever.
Mm.
There's lots of sad stories about there.
Yep.
But anyway, anyone doing anything else this weekend? So we got Tara's gambling. Bush Farmer's going skating. We're gonna plant some plants. What are you doing, Scobo?
Barbecues. Got barbecues to go to.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, you're going. You're not cooking.
I don't even have to do anything except show
Wow.
up. It was like,
Show up.
yo,
Bye.
do I need to bring anything?
That's
No,
sweet.
no, you're good. So
We didn't get invited to any barbecues. Darn. I could go for some barbecuing. I'll even
what's your
help.
what would be
Hey,
your
anybody
choice?
want to invite me? I'll help.
I need my grill brought up here, and then we can do some barbecues here, Tara.
Oh, so you trying to get me to stop and get the grill?
Yeah, you
gotta
guys
get
get the grill and bring it over here, and then
Need the smoker, man.
it is the smoker. I was just saying grill, so make it easier. But
I
yeah,
can't
it's a
be around
reverse
you guys.
offset.
I can't be around you guys yet. You got the vid. I got a wedding.
Yes,
Oh,
next
that's
week.
true.
Dude,
Well, you don't have to be around. You can just put the smoker out on the back porch.
Oh, okay.
oh man. What was that, like 4th of July or some shit? Probably 3 years ago when you had the smoker out. Was it ribs? This shit was
yeah, man.
actually
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
all
yeah.
4 of us were there.
That
Yeah.
was amazing.
That was
Yeah,
good.
man. That was some good shit.
That was real good.
Smacking
We
smoke
got to get
meat.
the brisket going though, man.
It's in the works.
That was
Gotta
some
get you-
fine eating.
I wish I had
Yeah.
a smoker.
Fine eating.
I don't even operate my own grill. My wife
What?
does my grill. Yeah, my wife does all
Yeah.
the grilling, man.
Wow.
She's the chef.
She just
Nice,
said, "Don't
nice.
fuck up my food."
I don't. I
got
bought
it.
her a grill for our anniversary.
Okay.
I love it.
What
Sure,
kind of
I
grill?
will.
Is it
Oh,
like
nothing- it's nothing
propane?
fancy.
Is it propane?
Yeah, it's just
charcoal?
a propane grill.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever she wanted.
Hey,
Just some stainless steel deal with a window.
That's awesome. She's
Yeah.
a cool chick.
Sequence is one is like this, like industrial looking black fucking matte finish grill that's just like, woo.
Yeah, man.
It smells so fucking good though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm
I came with
excited.
a smoke tube. I just haven't used it.
Barbecue's my favorite. Eating,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I need to make some of my beans too.
Yeah.
I gave the recipe to somebody at work. She's like, "Wow, I had no idea there was so much involved in it." I was like, "Oh
There's-
yeah."
You
Dude,
can only
It's a
eat
whole
those out of a
deal.
cup now. There's no other way.
they're better than the ones that I make. So
Oh,
That's-
thank
that's
you. I
saying,
so
like,
appreciate you saying that. But I got
great
the
shit.
idea from you and your wife, so
Right.
that's where that all came from.
exactly.
I have you to thank for that.
Before
Love
we get up out of here, I just want to say good morning again. I hope that everybody is starting off on the right foot. Make sure you come through tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Bro Show Live. It's always a good time. And Monday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard for the late sesh. And other than that, anybody
Good
else
work.
got anything before we get up out of here?
Have a nice, safe weekend, everybody, and enjoy your Memorial Day and thank a veteran.
Yep.
Thank you, Skillbo.
Thank you.
Once
sir.
again, if you're still in the top chat,
You're in the wrong spot.
you fucked up.
You fucked up.
You done fucked up.
That's
have a great
fucked up,
weekend,
so-
guys. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
Thank you for doing the
Cheers,
show,
everybody.
Sequence.